Bonjour tout le monde. Oh no, it's an English hi. Sorry guys, it's the English live. Hi everyone. Hi. I'm just going to take a moment to set the space and clear the energies and let the time for everyone to come in. Hello, welcome to this live where I will talk about life after death, what is going on when we die, where are we going, who do we meet, what do we do there. Before I start, I just want to mention that I have lots of questions and I'll answer as much as I can, but if I don't have the time to answer your question, I will just bump it to the next live, which will be either in March or beginning of April. We'll see. And also, I have 2 spots left for February's thematic tarot reading. So it's love readings. And if you are interested, I have 2 spots this Sunday. And you need to be a newsletter subscriber to get the link. So these kind of readings are just exclusively for my newsletter subscribers. So go check your emails or subscribe to the newsletter and send me a message asking me for the latest email. Okay, what happens when we die? Well, when we die, first of all, we leave our bodies and we might still be attached to our physical earthly lives. So we might be looking at our bodies and be very distressed looking at the doctors, nurses, whatever happened. Or some people die alone and they are super sad. So they are still attached to, their bodies, how their bodies look, who's around. But very, very soon, we see the light. So yes, it's like in the movies, there is this light. It's the light of the source, the universal source of energy that created us as soul. We see this light and we feel immense love, which is exactly what we see and feel when our souls are born. So we automatically go back to that feeling. And it's so strong and it's so wonderful that the only thing we want to do is go up towards the light. And when we get there, we get to the entry point of the astral plane. It's the entry point, but it's kind of right before getting to the astral plane, we have this in between where we get some kind of energetic shower that will align our energies and lower raise our vibrations so that we are ready. We have the right frequency to enter the astral plane. So what is the astral plane? We are here on the earth plane. It's very dense. After that, we have the astral plane, which is the in-between place where we go between each incarnations. And this is where we meet our soul family and our spirit guides. And then we have the causal plane, where advanced spirit guides live, ascended masters, angels, archangels. So we have these 3 levels. So we die, we go up towards the light, we're getting that kind of energetic shower. And then we are greeted by people who are making us feel a sense of security, because we might still feel like what is going on. There might be a little stress still, not understanding automatically what's going on. That being said, when we are old souls, so everyone listening to this and interested in past lives and reincarnation, you are old souls. Most old souls, they remember pretty quickly what is going on because they're used to dying. That is because we are navigating 10 soul levels. So when we are born, we are a level 1 soul and we start incarnating on Earth. Levels 1 to 5, young souls. Levels 6 to 10, old souls. What happens after level 10? Well, you stop reincarnating on Earth because you feel that you learned everything that you needed to learn. You feel that your soul has expanded. And most importantly, you feel that you understand how to give and receive love and act grounded in love. And after level 10, you become a full-time spirit guide helping others. And so that's how you stop reincarnating on Earth. So for old souls, it's pretty quick. Like you get there, you're greeted by someone. Maybe it's a past loved one who's there. So maybe it's mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, sister or brother who died before you. And you're like, oh, so happy to see you. And then you see in the background other people that you know. And then you see people that you're like, wait, they weren't incarnated with me, but I know them so well, because you see members of your soul family. So you're greeted at first. And for some old souls, it's so like we remember so quickly. We're greeted by our main spirit guide, which is our teacher spirit guide, right away. For others, it's like, okay, biological family members, and then soul family members, and then spirit guide is coming in. So it really depends. Everyone has different experiences every time they die. But as we're getting older souls, we're kind of in a groove, a rhythm of, okay, I'm getting back home and my main teacher guide is there with me. And then we do, as old souls, we do very quickly our life review. For most of us, we are in a cinema settings. Since cinemas exist, we're getting this kind of image that the spirit guides are giving us, where they seat us, they kind of design this scene where they seat us in a cinema. Movie theater, I'm thinking in French. We're in a movie theater and we're looking at our lives, but it's more than a regular movie that we're watching, because we can feel everything that the people around us are feeling. So if we have been bad to someone, we will feel how they feel. We're even able to kind of be in their heads and know what they're thinking and how it affects them. So you're getting every side of the coin here, like everything you did, good and bad, you see how it impacted others. And you see where you created karma and where you balanced karma. And this is a big starting point for you when you will go to Earth School afterwards. So once you get acclimated, you go back to your soul family, which is the group with whom your soul was born. So you're kind of have your little headquarters with your soul family, and then you are ready to go to Earth School with them, which is a place where you need to raise your frequency to be able to enter that Earth School. And when you're there, you are working with soul family members with whom you have karma to balance, but you're also working on your own and just with your main teacher guide. It depends of what you want to work on that day. But it pretty much looks like the Akashic Records. Most of us, when we go into our records, it is either a whole library, or there is a space. For me, there is a space where I can go, where I take my book of life and I open it. And it's like in Harry Potter. You know, in Harry Potter, when in their books, they don't have fixed images. The images are moving. So I can see, okay, I want to go and check that phase of my life where I left home and what happened, or where I had a fight with my brother and what happened. And you can look at it and you can also dive into it. So kind of like, again, Harry Potter, if you know this reference, there is this pensieve where you can go and dive into a past memory. It's the same thing. And so you can really relive things and reflect on how you want to do better next time and how you can balance karma there. And once you're ready to reincarnate again, you start making your life plan. And in this life plan, you are going to decide with the help of your main spirit guide, but the more advanced a soul you are, the more you are doing it pretty much on your own with a little help and feedback from your teacher guide, but you're really, you got the hang of it. So you're going to decide what your soul types will be. Your soul types will define the type of spirituality, the type of, I'm thinking about the spiritualist soul type, the kind of personality that you will have. You will decide what your life missions will be, life lessons, karma you want to balance, with whom you are going to have romantic relationships. Also, who on earth is going to help you learn specific life lessons? It might be a parent, a teacher, a neighbor. And so you are planting seeds here and there to help you on your soul journey. And talking about the life plan, you can get an Akashic life plan reading with me to know everything that you decided in your life plan. And I'm going to answer the first question here. Okay. We have Elaine, and Elaine wants to know, how can we know that our life lessons, what our life lessons are for this current incarnation? Can we ask the Akashic Records to tell us them all? So our life lessons are actually in our life plan. And yes, when we go to the Akashic Records, we can ask the spirit guides what our life lessons are. Now, this question, I really like how we can ask it in French, because in French, when we ask the question, there is nothing is specified as if we're asking for one or many life lessons, because we don't pronounce all the letters in a word. So if you see it written, you know if it's singular or plural, but when we say it out loud, there's no way of knowing. That's why in English, I like to ask, what is the main life lesson or the main life lessons that the person is working on right now? You need to really put it super open to your spirit guides. The reason is that, yes, you can ask about them, but the spirit guides will only share what you are meant to consciously know at that moment. And when I say consciously know, I say this because our soul always knows. But for us, as incarnated beings, we don't remember everything. And so the spirit guides, sometimes they will give you many life lessons because it will help you knowing a lot of them. Sometimes you are caught in a loop. You are caught in a repetitive pattern, and you really, really need to work on one life lesson. And this is when my spirit guides are going to say, we're only going to talk about this one life lesson for this person. And they are going to center the Akashic reading pretty much around this whole life lesson to help the person, unblock. Maybe it's a past life trauma or just a repetitive pattern that has been created in this incarnation because of the way that they were raised by their parents. So yes, you can absolutely ask the spirit guides in your records what your life lessons are, and you'll see if they want to share one or many. Okay, second question. We have a question from Whitney. Whitney wants to know, how do we process and integrate the vast experiences and relationships from multiple lifetimes without feeling overwhelmed when we reunite with familiar souls, so souls from our soul family after death? Remember when I said before that when we're incarnated, we don't remember everything? That's because we come on Earth with reincarnation amnesia. We don't remember everything about our past lives because we would be completely overwhelmed just thinking about everything that we have done badly in past lives. When we were young souls, we did pretty bad stuff. I'm convinced that everyone has committed a major crime in the past, like something like murder in their earlier, very young soul past lives. Plus, we have had past lives where there was war. We've had deaths that were violent. Not all of them. We all have a mix of lives that were wonderful and in love and more comfortable, and we have others that were really, really hard. But when we are incarnated, we have our ego self who loves to concentrate on the negative. So imagine if we remember everything from our past lives and we keep focusing on, oh my God, I murdered all these people, and then I got murdered, and it was super ugly because we still can see everything that happened and feel the pain. That would be completely overwhelming. That's why I wanted to mention that we have reincarnation amnesia. But to answer your question, Whitney, when we die and we go to the astral plane and we meet with our soul family, and we also meet with people who maybe are not from our soul family but were incarnated with us on earth, and people with whom we've had difficult relationships. For example, let's take the example of a woman who was beaten by her ex-husband, and then she meets him on the astral plane. The beauty of it is that once we are not incarnated anymore, we are pure souls and we are pure love, and we are able to understand all the ramifications. We're able to understand what the other person was going through. And I'm not saying that it was okay for that guy to beat his wife, but once we're there, like the woman will be able to understand how the guy's soul's regrets, understands that it wasn't okay. She will be able to understand, what he went through in his childhood, in his past lives. And it's just, I would say that the only thing, there is no judgment there, but the only thing that we could perceive as negative when we meet people with whom we've had tricky relationships is that we are so sad and disappointed. And we really want to make it better in our next incarnations. And this is how we reincarnate with people who have been bad to us, or we have been bad to them. We really want to balance karma with them. And this is how our souls grow and expand as well. So don't worry, when we die and we meet those people, we are not overwhelmed, because the energies of the astral plane, the energy of the source of life, is all love and light. So it's all love and understanding. Okay, I've also had a question from Yan, who wants to know, when we have an autoimmune disease, is it a life lesson? The answer is, it really depends. If the person was born with the autoimmune disease, and I'm going to say our birth situation, whatever it is, were you born poor or rich, were your parents involved or not involved in raising you? Have you been abandoned? Were you an only child, or did you have a lot of siblings? Your birthing situation, you choose in your life plan. So if that person, it was discovered very early on that they have an autoimmune or any other type of disease when they were born, yes, it's part of their life plan. It can be a life lesson. It can also be a way of working on a past life trauma. Sometimes by the way we have died in the past and we haven't integrated that past life, we still have echoes in our bodies. And I have that. I have died many times, a death related to the gut. And that makes it so, one time I was stabbed in the gut. One time I had a race car incident where my body was dragged on the road for I don't know how long, and the gut got out. And so, I have had several lives where, fights and everything. So I have something related to my gut. And it takes a lot of time to heal, where it's like a lot of past lives stacked and stacked and stacked. And this is how you get that trauma stuck in an area of your body. I was saying in the French live as well that sometimes you have an incarnation where you want to be a leader soul type, but you're more of a dictator and a yeller. You don't listen to the other people, and you're just like yelling and barking orders all the time. Well, you might have problems with your throat because the throat chakra is unbalanced there, and you need to work on your throat, on your voice. So you might have troubles health-wise there. So it really depends. If the person isn't born with a disease, and the disease happens later. It can happen later because for me, for example, a lot of stuff happened between 20 and 25 years old. I started, having different weird ailments because I have died a lot of times in past lives between 20 and 25 years old. And the trigger of my death trauma is triggered around that age in my incarnation. So that can be a reason. But as a spirit guide say, sometimes shit happens, and sometimes it's not related to your life plan or past life trauma. It's just that you got a disease. Okay, I'm going to answer one last question. It's a question from let me see which one is related to this live. No, I'm going to stop here because I answered 3 questions in French. I want to keep the same 3 questions in English, just so that I always have the same questions, English and French. So I have a question here that someone asked, and it's about channeling your spirit guide. So I'm going to wait for maybe March or April when we have a theme about channeling. And let me know, by the way, what do you want me to talk about in the next lives? I often do kind of polls in my Instagram stories, but don't wait for me to do a poll to either suggest a theme or ask a question. You can ask me a question anytime, and I will answer in a live. Okay, before I leave you guys, I want to tell you a few things. Akashic Records reading. If you are interested to know what your life plan is, but also if you are interested to know what the past life resonance around that, what people do mostly when they want to go really deep is they book a life plan reading and past life reading. So you can book it as a combo, and it's cheaper when you book the combo. So everything I talked about today, if you want to know what you decided and how it's affecting you regarding your past lives, if you have maybe blockages or physical ailments, we can dive deep when you take the combo there. Akashic readings. I have 2 spots left for February for Akashic readings, and also 2 spots left for if you want one card love reading. I don't remember how I called it, but yeah, tarot or oracle card reading about love. I still have 2 spots for Sunday. Remember to give me a thumbs up if you're watching on Facebook. Facebook on YouTube. It really helps. It helps other people, other old souls who are wondering about their past lives and all of this to find me. Also, a lot of people who are meant to become psychics find me and take my classes, channeling class or Akashic Records class, and my advanced Akashic Records class. So level 2, which is about how to read the Akashic Records of other people. So first level, you learn to read your own Akashic Records. Second level, you learn how to read for others. I'm working on it. I'm close to finishing the slides, and then I will record the whole course, and I am aiming to launch it in April. So this is coming up. You need to be on my email list to get the pre-launch and the pre-launch price. And books here, if you want to know more about things that I talked about today. If you can read French, I wrote a book which is called Les Annales Akashiques, the Akashic Records. So with this book, you can learn how to read your Akashic Records. And it's in complement of my Akashic Records course. So obviously in the book, you don't get all the audio meditations to go into your Akashic Records and do Akashic healings. So a lot of people are buying the book and buying the course. If you want to know more about soul ages, soul type, I am working with Ainsley MacLeod's Spirit Guides structure, which is a structure that I knew before I became a psychic. And the book is called The Instruction. It is a must. And lastly, the book that changed my life, if you want to know more about the astral plane, reincarnation, what happens in detail on the astral plane, go read the book Journey of Souls by Michael Newton. Did I say everything? I did say everything. Thank you so much, everyone, for being there with me. And I will see you in the next live. Thank you. Bye-bye.